Okay, I think we are good, and I think we are live on the Patient Advocate Match Facebook channel too. So I would just love to go ahead and get us started here. And I had a couple of notes here, and I just wanted to bring that up. So, everyone, in caring for, aging parents or grandparents or other family members, have you ever wondered how to find quality, affordable resources to help with this, this labor of love, and as a nurse patient advocate, we assist families, in matching the right resources for the right healthcare needs. And so we wanted to do something to help you find resources, because we know that can be difficult, especially if you don't know, you're not quite sure what you're looking for. So we have this free resource. It's called Patient Advocate Match, and it's a directory of healthcare services. And we want to make sure that we're matching the right resources for the right reasons. So today we are introducing one of our resources from our directory, and that's restoration therapy. And so I want to welcome Sarah and Jake Peloquin. They offer this unique resources. It also is set up as a nonprofit ministry. So that's just very intriguing to me. And so I want to make sure that everybody understands what that is. So Jake and Sarah, welcome. Tell us a little bit about how you got this started and what is all encompassed in this ministry.
Okay, I'm gonna actually have to pass this on to Sarah because we're starting at the top here.
Okay.
And she really is the driving force behind setting up Restoration Freedom Dynasty, under which restoration therapy is one component. So
we looked at the needs in communities and looked at different ways that we could be a resource and an opportunity to minister to others under the auspice of our faith, but also with the skills and talents that my husband has as a therapist. And
that's okay. Don't worry. This is real. This is life.
Yes, this is life. That was my youngest. So yeah, he's not feeling too good. So I might have to bow out after I get through the discussion of the actual service or ministry itself. But anyway, so we were looking at different opportunities and everything. And one of the things that we thought about was privatizing or bringing us outside of the the public domain, and giving more people opportunities to have a therapy that they might not be able to get because of maybe insurance costs or because of other hindrances that they might not be able to actually be reached by the mainstream, but give them another opportunity. And so our ministry, Restoration Freedom Dynasty, is 508c1a. It's a nonprofit organization and ministry, and it is just an opportunity for us to utilize our faith and resources to minister to people within our community, and that community is expanded to wherever there are people with needs. So, it has several different arms, and one of them is the therapy. One is an educational arm, and so on and so forth. But as far as the therapy is concerned, this is an opportunity for Jake to utilize his services as a licensed therapist, and being able to minister to people within their homes, online, have them come to our home and use our home as a resource, and just make it more accessible, make therapy services more accessible. So yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, that is an amazing service, and it just shows the hearts that you have, to serve and to help your community. So thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing. And I know if you have to scoot to the kids, that's okay. So
it sounds like he's calm right now, but I will
good.
I might jump out. So
okay. No worries. So Jake, tell us a little bit about the types of services that are offered under the restoration therapy.
Okay. Well, I'm really, really interested in holistic, but I'm trying to think, not pain management so much as just maximizing your body's ability to heal and maximizing your body's ability to navigate that tricky pain issue. That, along with lymphedema, being able to help, because the lymphedema or the lymphatic system for people is like the septic system of your body. And a lot of people don't fully understand what the lymphatic system is. It's a very underappreciated component, but it's all throughout your whole body, and everyone's got a lymphatic system. So that's one piece that I really am passionate about, is managing the inflammation that people are dealing with. Autoimmune conditions are key in that, and I know there's a lot of those going around recently. So I can do things like home safety assessments for people's aging parents, grandparents. Sure, I can do that stuff. That falls within the umbrella of what an occupational therapist does. I can also go to people's homes and help them manage their inflammation, do some healthy living education, and I can do some of that stuff over the internet. I can teach people how to essentially mobilize their own septic system, just hands on the skin. And so there are a lot of things I can do either in person or virtually. And while I can't do everything virtually, there are some things I can do. So people nationwide, anywhere, I can work with them virtually, but I could not, for example, go and do a home safety visit, at least not well.
Well, I was thinking about that too. Now, Jake, if someone had a tablet or a laptop that could walk through their house, with you, and you could see everything, would that work? Yeah,
that would work. It just, I wouldn't be there to catch them if they fell while they were trying to get into the bathtub.
Gotcha.
So that would be the drawback, is I would not feel comfortable necessarily seeing people do the actual things, but I can still give them the recommendations for, given their height and their and the way that they interact with their environment. I can give them recommendations for how they should be able to succeed in doing their ADLs.
And with their families, if their families are trying to find a safe space or like a home situation, their families could go in ahead of time and kind of get some recommendations at least. And Jake could do that with an iPad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking too, maybe they want to know maybe what kind of equipment would be useful in a bathroom or something, and if you could see their bathroom, you would get an understanding of what might work and what might not work.
Exactly.
Yeah, because everyone, some of these houses custom built, back in the day before there were all these pre-manufactured modular homes and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of unique qualities about each person's individual home, and just seeing how they interact with that environment is, and how they do what I threw the 3-letter abbreviation ADLs out there, activities of daily living, how they do their basic self-cares, as well as the more complex ones, which are the instrumental activities of daily living, like doing laundry, cooking.
So that would include like bathing, dressing, cooking, those things. Okay.
And the cool thing is Jake, one of the neat things about having restoration therapy is that Jake is such an out of the box thinker. And so, a lot of stuff is done protocol, right? And that's a good thing for a lot of people, but for some people, they need more of that out of the box thinking. And he's really good at assessing a situation and going, this might not work, but I bet you this would, So he's,
sort of a MacGyver.
Kind of,
creative solutions to problems, either common problems or unusual ones.
Yeah, I guess creative solutions would be the fancy term, I guess. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, Jake, some of the on your directory listing on our resource directory site, there is like a list of services. Are they still being provided? Should we run through those and let me know if we're still doing?
I do all those. I have expanded because everyone grows and learns as they go. So I've added some things. I don't think I mentioned on the listing service. I don't think I mentioned the lymphatics at all.
No, and we can certainly add that. I know we've got holistic healthcare, which you're very passionate about, maximizing healing potential, perioperative. What would that be?
That would be, so peri meaning around. If you have a planned operation, like a knee replacement, a hip replacement, a shoulder replacement, or if you're planning to go in for to have a mass removed. I've worked with people after they've had a cancer removed to do some healing and talking about that sort of thing. So anything around an operation, or if you have an unanticipated injury, there's a few days later I can get in there and really help maximize your body's healing potential. I know different techniques, different things people can do to help unload these neurotransmitters that are going to help not block the pain, but help a person navigate the pain.
Yeah.
And manage it better. So knowing that stuff and being able to give that to each individual person and finding the best methods of healing is, I think, a very valuable thing that this community needs.
Absolutely. Then you have, we've got fall prevention. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Well, sure. I talk with people about what the safer way is to use different devices that they might be using in order to walk around the house, or talking about different like grab bars here and there, talking about picking up rugs. If anyone knows a therapist, when you're talking about going home, rugs are they're a tricky topic. Some people love their rugs, and some of the rugs are okay, but it's again, you have to play between the person and the environment and find out exactly how they're going to be getting around. But yeah,
I know, being a former home care nurse, I'm telling you, they get attached to some of those throw rugs.
Very sentimental. Their granddaughter braided it in home ec.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And then we've got stress management, anger management is listed. So tell us a little bit about how you work with clients with that.
Okay. So I've worked in mental health in the past and talking with people about coping strategies, how you deal with different stressors in your life. And some people deal with it. They become angry.
Gets toxic. Yeah.
Yeah. And some people are very passive aggressive, and those types of people are not probably going to be seeking out assistance unless they're urged to. But yeah, everyone has different ways of managing the stressors in their life, and some of them are become angry, and that's understandable. It's just finding a better way of channeling it. And that's certainly something that I'm capable of.
Yeah, because you approach it from the idea that like the emotions themselves aren't the bad part. It's when they're stuffed or when they're handled in unhealthy ways that can actually cause physical changes to the body and unhealthy
responses. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And so he deals with those types of things. Okay, the anger is okay. That's but why are you angry, and how are you dealing with it, and how can we channel it in a different way so that it's not coming down and making you sick, right?
Because the whole body, the whole person is a person. It's not mind and body, it's mind and body. I mean, it's the mind is a physical thing. And well, I'm sorry, the brain is a physical thing. The mind, well, let's not.
It's more of a spiritual
go into
to it,
yeah. Metaphysics here.
Yeah. I mean, but that is part of the healing process.
Yeah, it is.
That's
because,
what therapists will say.
Like if you have the right mindset, you're going to do better at healing.
Yeah.
Well, it's the whole brain body connection. I mean, they're just so intertwined and okay. Well, we've got the last couple things on the list was trimming toenails.
Yeah. I have so there's a couple people that are, we call ourselves ministers of therapy. And so I've got a couple other ministers here. One of the other people that is in our ministry said that's one of the services that she would like to offer, because she has worked in geriatrics for quite a while and knows how dang hard it is to get the podiatrist in there, because it's a large need she's found in our community.
Absolutely. So is she comfortable, and I just have to throw this out there so our community knows, is she comfortable doing toenails for diabetics?
Yes.
Yeah, that was exactly what she was getting at, was that those are one of the hardest ones to deal with, and there's just a lot of safety issues that you wouldn't normally have with other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And then the last thing I have on the list is helping with morning routine.
Yep. So the morning routine, that's those ADLs, those basic self-cares. If people are having a hard time getting themselves fully cleaned, I have different devices, there's long-handled sponges, different adaptive equipment, and choosing exactly the right one for each person. I'd be able to show them what their options are, and help them with the selection of the one that is right for them.
And a part of that comes down to just giving them dignity. I mean, a lot of these issues that people are going through, there's just the aging process can be so hard, and there's this kind of grief and loss associated with it. But Jake has such a tender heart, and so when he reaches into their lives, and he's doing it from a perspective of, you are a human being with dignity and worth, and so I'm going to find you ways that you can adapt and still manage yourself without losing that dignity and worth, right? So yeah.
That's amazing. That's so needed, and that is such a heartfelt, perspective. Is there anything that I know we talked about the lymphatic system, so I know you were able to bring that up. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to say about your ministry?
Well, chronic pain, that's another one that I'm very interested in helping people get through, because that can be so severely limiting in what we are able to do and how we're able to engage in the world. So that's a big one. Just figuring out what the body is trying to tell you, and what you should do about it.
Yeah.
And is there any way, we've got the email, we've got that all listed on the directory. Is there any other, what's the best way to contact you to request or talk about services?
So email and your phone
Yep,
number
my
at
phone's
this
on
point,
there, too.
and we are working on building a website. So as soon as we've got that, we can get that to you.
And I will just for those of you that are watching, we will put that information in the video notes as well as on the Facebook page with this video. So we'll make sure that we have that accessible for you. So this has been just it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Jake and Sarah. We just encourage everybody to check out restoration therapy and everything they can offer. And as far as the cost, I mean, how does that work? We should touch on that.
Yeah, so cost is,
So because
it's
we're
a
a
ministry,
ministry,
it's donation based. And so it's what your needs are. We assess it and we kind of give a suggested donation, but there are ways of working around it. We've had people who've donated meat before, different aspects. If money is an issue, then it is not an issue for us. So we can definitely work around that. It's really just, the biggest thing is we want to meet a need, and that's the most important part. And so we can obviously work payment issues and stuff like that, but it is a ministry, and so donations are kind of how we work it. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for what you both do. I mean, that's amazing. And thank you for providing this service. So just want to say again, thanks, Jake and Sarah, for sharing about your ministry. We'll get this loaded so everybody can see it on the website, and it's live now on Facebook, so anybody can go back and watch the recording on our Patient Advocate Match Facebook page. So again, thank you so much, Jake and Sarah.
thank you,
Very
Pam.
welcome. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.